What's up guys, my name is ESO and welcome to the channel. I'm the guy who makes guides showing you where to find unique weapons and armor in Fallout. In this video we'll be talking about the top 10 best weapons in Fallout New Vegas, including the downloadable content, but don't worry, I will tell you if it's a downloadable content weapon. This top 10 list is based on how useful the weapon is and damage. So for example, some of the weapons in this list might not look that good, but with the right character perks and clothing, they can be game-breakingly good. Oh, and fun factor is also important too. I will leave a guide in the description that tells you where you can find all the weapons in this video for yourself too. So I've put this top 10 list into categories of the best close combat weapon, the best gun, and so on. And I have given you a choice if you want damage per second or just the best damage per hit. You could call this list almost a top 20, but I'm just trying to make it as helpful as possible. Because at the moment the current top 10 guides on YouTube are not great. All the damage numbers I give you will be assuming that you have all the perks for the related skills. It doesn't matter if you don't, I'm just telling you how much damage you can do with this weapon. So this top 10 is in no specific order, it's really more the best weapons of each category if that makes sense. So let's start this list off with the unarmed weapons. In at number 10 we have the best unarmed weapon, the industrial hand tool. This is quite a common weapon, which is funny because it's the best damage per second of nearly any weapon in the game. It's like a chainsaw on steroids. It does 333 damage per second, but it also ignores enemies' damage resistance. So for example, if they're wearing armor, it just goes straight through it. It's ridiculously overpowered. It's also very easy to get, just check out the link in the description. Next up at number 9, we have the melee weapons. I have put 2 in for this spot. Firstly, we have the Super Sledge, called Oh Baby. It does a staggering 112 damage a hit. It also has a special power attack that does 156 damage. You just power attack while moving forward, but you need a weapon skill of 50 to do it. It has a damage per second of 310, which is also very good. Not to mention it looks awesome too. There's also a weapon called Gehenna, a unique shish kebab that you can get from the Gunrunners DLC. It does 351 damage per second and sets people on fire. You can also apply poison to the blade for even more damage per second. And I just need to talk about one final melee weapon. It's kind of an honourable mention because this weapon's like the best weapon you can get at the start of the game. It's called Chance's Knife. It's a really interesting weapon actually. It only does 42 damage a hit, but it has a damage per second with perks of 280, which is just stupidly overpowered because you can get it so early and so easily. Also, the weapon does double damage if you critical hit with it. And I mean, because you can attack like almost 5 times in a second, you will probably be doing more like 400 damage or something silly. So it's a very broken weapon. Anyway, number 8, the best pistol in the game. There are once again 2 at this position. Firstly, we have the Ranger Sequoia. It has 90 damage a shot and a damage per second of 210. It also has a really cool design. Then on the other hand, we have the DLC weapon, a light shining in darkness. It only does 48 damage per shot, but it fires so fast. Its damage per second is 292. It's up to you which one you pick. Number 7. Who doesn't like explosives? The thing about explosives is they just deal with everything in this game. Oh, I can't kill that Deathclaw. I'll just fire a fat man at it. Problem solved. It does about 480 damage plus 1080 damage explosion in a radius around it. It's ridiculous. There's even an improved version called Escher, and it's like the fat man on steroids. It does more damage and gives you a really cool defense bonus because of its large shield that it has on the front of the weapon, which stops you from blowing yourself up, and believe me, that does sometimes happen. You can get both of these weapons in the description. I also just want to mention the holy hand grenades too. This weapon is so great. They deal 1630 damage and make a small nuke effect. They're fantastic, but there are only a few of them in the game, like literally about 4 or 5 I think. Number 6 are the plasma weapons. I actually have 2 guns in this position, of course. Firstly, I want to mention the plasma caster. It has the best damage per second of 280 and hits for 77 damage each shot, which is really good. I just don't like it very much because it's not accurate. I mean, look, I'm aiming at the target and my shots are literally going everywhere. If you have a lot of ammo and it doesn't bother you, then go for it. It's a great gun, it does a lot of damage. But I myself prefer the Q35 Matter Modulator. This gun fixes everything that's wrong with plasma weapons for me. It has a better accuracy, faster firing rate, and it has a damage per second of 160. But you can be sure that every shot will hit. But also, if you have the right setup, wearing the right clothing to increase your critical hit chance, see the guide for this gun in the description, you can actually critical hit almost 100% of the time. So you'll be doing double damage for 320 damage per second. And bear in mind, your shots actually hit the target. RIP. Laser weapons. Who doesn't like lasers? Let's talk about the ZipZap for number 5. First up, we have Elijah's Advanced LAER. This is part of the Big Mountain downloadable content. This gun zaps people for 90 damage and has a damage per second of 335. I actually prefer lasers over plasma weapons. They have worse critical hit damage, but they are a lot more accurate and they fire even faster. You can even mod this weapon to have 30% more damage a shot, making this gun even better. And you can even mod it to recycle some of your ammo, which is also handy. Next up in the laser category, we have the Spurtlewood 9700. Yes, I know, it fires green lasers. I know, green. It also has a damage per second of 600. You can also get this weapon super easy as well. Oh, by the way, you fire about 30 rounds a second, and you have about a 20% chance of critical hitting on each one. So if you have a decent luck skill, you can find this weapon does even more damage, which is just scary. In at number 4, we have the CZ Avenger. On the topic of miniguns, this is like the machine gun version of the laser Gatling gun. You have to pick one of them, man. You have to have an over-the-top gun in your arsenal, and this one fits the bill. It only does 16 damage a shot, but the thing fires so fast, it has a damage per second of, wait for it, 650. Literally anything you come up against with this gun will just shred it like paper, especially anything with no armor. Next up at number 3, we have my favourite category, shotguns. The Riot Shotgun, hands down, is the best shotgun, doing 80 damage a shot and 450 damage a second. If you use the Stay Back perk, you will even get a knockback effect, so nobody can even get close to you. I literally love this weapon, as you guys know if you've watched my Fallout 3 Let's Play. I'll leave a link to that in the description if you're bored and want to watch something. But at number 2, we have the YCS-286, which is basically a unique version of the Gus rifle. I will leave a link on how to get both versions in the description, because you can only get one version if you don't have the Wild Wasteland perk. But anyway, this gun is so accurate. It's basically an energy weapon sniper rifle. It does 167 damage per hit. What? What? That's not enough damage? What? Oh, well, with the right setup, you can actually get a critical hit chance of 76%. Wahahaha. What, man? Now you're hitting for 334 damage a hit. That is stupid. But not as stupid as the damage the industrial hand does. At number 1, the best weapon in the game, even though all these weapons can be considered, depending on your playstyle, snipers. Who doesn't like shooting the enemy in the head? We have 2 weapons in this category. First up is the anti-material rifle. which does 130 damage a shot, and has a damage per second of 82. That's not that good, is it? I'm tired of seeing people say this is the best gun in the game. Stop it, it's not at all. The ammo it uses is not even common, it's painful to find. The actual best sniper rifle in the game, even the best gun in the game for that matter, is the Gobi Campaign Sniper Rifle. With a little bit of know-how, you actually don't even need to know how, you can just follow my guide on how to do it. You can make this weapon do 225 damage a shot, and 400 damage per second. And the reason for that is you can achieve a critical hit chance with this gun of 100%, unlike the anti-material rifle which you can only get about 20% for. Now there are a few more weapons that I could not fit in this list, so I would like to make an honourable mention section in the description for other good weapons, because after all I didn't mention the laser orbital bombardment killer death ray of awesome fireworks weapon. It's called the Sea Finder. Find it in the description. There are so many great weapons in this game, so many fun weapons, it was really hard to make this list. But depending on what character you make, if you pick a weapon from whatever category, you will have a good time. Anyway guys, I really hope you enjoyed this top 10 weapons in Fallout New Vegas list. A lot of time, effort and research went into this guide, so if you found it helpful, please give the video a thumbs up. Actually forget that, just subscribe for more guides, help and let's plays. For maximum updaticus, be sure to follow me on Facebook, then you can get an idea of what I'm working on next, and you can ask me questions too. Thanks again and I will see you in the next guide.